Monday night, the Giants and Pirates played a wild extra inning game that went late into the night before San Francisco won it in the 13th inning. In Game 2 of the series, pitching was the theme all night long until the wild bottom of the ninth put the Pirates over the top in a one-of-a-kind walk-off win. Today, final game of the series from Pittsburgh, and it's coming up next.
Day baseball here in Pittsburgh. It's also getaway day for the Giants. Looks like the weather is going to clear up as we get ready for Giants baseball, final game of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. I don't want to talk about the game last night. I'm tired of it. What I do want to talk about, however, Mike, is the pitching matchup today with Cole and Lincecum.
Well, the Giants are going to face the ace of the Pirates, Garrett Cole, who's a hard-throwing, big curveball out of UCLA, and he's on a roll. He's really pitching well and has assumed that role of ace very quickly in his career. He'll face the Giants' former ace, Tim Lincecum, who really has a losing record against the Pirates. And Tim Lincecum, who has been pitching great ball of late, is going to try and get the Giants in the win column because they haven't won a series here since April of 2011. No Panda, no Pagan, no Posey, and it seems to me like the Giants have them right where they want them.
And I say no problem. It's a great matchup. Garrett Cole, Tim Lincecum. When we come back, we will have the starting lineups in this game and the first pitch, and we'll do that right after this.
Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box and try the new Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. And by Toyota, #1 in NPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, and a bit of an overcast day as the Pirates take the field. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. 52 degrees here at the yard. We have light winds. Humidity is high, and it is cloudy. and keep the rain away. Let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup. There are a few absentees in this lineup. Blanco will lead it off, followed by Pence, who's got good numbers lifetime against the Buccos. Belt third, and then Morris, Sanchez, and Crawford. Hicks back at second. He's hitting seventh. Arias eighth, and Lincecum ninth.
On the hill today for the Pittsburgh Pirates will be the big right-hander Garrett Cole, 6'4", 240-pounder. He's in his second year at the big league level out of UCLA, former first-round pick. And this is what he has done in 6 starts. He's 2-2, 3.69 ERA, 32 strikeouts against 12 walks in 39 innings. And he's a power arm. You're going to see a fastball that goes anywhere from mid to high 90s, depending on how he grips it. He'll two-seam, he'll four-seam. He's got a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. And he thinks fastball. I mean, that's really what his personality is evolved around. But he's got he's got 4 pitches he can strike you out with. But he likes to come at you with that fastball. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Garrett Cole today for the Pirates. Starting in their outfield from left to right, it'll be Marte, McCutchen, and Snyder. Mercer and Alvarez on the left side of the infield. Walker and Davis on the right side. Our old pal Chris Stewart will be in the squad putting down the signs. What do you say we take a look at our Nissan keys to the game? Well, no Posey, no Panda, no Pagan, so you're going to have some unsung heroes today. This is a great opportunity for guys who spend time on the bench to step up and make a difference. Number 2, be patient with Cole. At times, he will elevate. He will give you good location pitches to hit, and be ready when you get them.
All right.
Remember, Garrett Cole's debut was against the Giants and against Tim Lincecum. And in that game, he got a win. It was 6 strong innings.
So we're waiting for the umpires to say that they are ready. Giants won in 13 on Monday, 11-10, and they lost last night 2-1. Completely opposite games. And here's Cole looking in and throwing to Blanco, and a swing and a foul. So we get started 2 minutes late at 12:37. Giants are 10-2 in day games. As Cole throws to Blanco, and Blanco takes inside. Blanco hitting 121. He's 4 for 33. Take a look at the umpires. It's Jerry Davis behind home plate, Conroy, Cuzzy, and Walcott around the horn.
And Jerry Davis, I mean, he's a high ball umpire.
And Blanco swings and misses, and that's how this game gets started.
Take a look at June 11th last year when Garrett Cole made the long-awaited debut coming up through the Pirates minor league system, and really he pitched well. The first guy he faced was Gregor Blanco. He struck him out on 3 pitches. He went 6 strong innings, and he was the winner in that ball game. And as he walked off, Pirates fans pumped up.
Here's Pence, who takes a strike. Pence at 262, 2 home runs, 9 driven in. Pence had a terrific night, 3 for 6 on Monday. Here he takes a strike, and it's 1-2. And in the game last night, he went 0 for 4. The Giants only had 5 hits last night, but so did the Pirates. That 5th hit, however, was very interesting. And I'm tired of talking about it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, we're over it. We're moving on.
Pence bounces this one, cut off by Alvarez. He will spin and throw, and Pence is retired, 2 outs.
say the 2011 draft. That's a pretty good bunch right there. Garrett Cole was #1. And Danny Holtzen with the Mariners. Trevor Bauer with the Diamondbacks. Dylan Bundy and Bubba Starling. Joe Panik was the Giants' first pick. He's in AAA right now, having a good year. Last we checked, he was hitting around 350. Garrett Cole on top.
Here's Belt. Belt at 258. Overshift is on for Belt. And he skies one into right center field. Hit very well. Snyder looking up. Out of here. 1-0 Giants. And Belt hits his 9th, and that takes the lead for the Giants.
And that's a home run at daytime for Brandon Belt. He'd been hitting under 200 in day games. And he just jumped on a fastball right down the middle. Boom, see ya. And he took on the deep part of right center. And Garrett Cole can't believe it.
I think Cole wanted to pitch a little bit more in, but too late now.
Number 9 for the baby giraffe.
Here's Morris. Morris at 295. And Morris trying to go back to back, and he fouls it at home plate, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Hector Sanchez to follow. First home run for the Giants in this series. That's a little odd, isn't it? After what we saw in Atlanta.
Yeah. I kind of like the big fly.
Yeah, I do too. And tight, 2 balls and a strike. Giants 42 home runs now. They were tied for second most in the majors behind Colorado. Colorado's got 49. This is line to right, but it's right at Snyder, and that'll end the inning. So a nice at bat for Michael Morris. Giants are on the board after 1/2 inning. Belt with the big fly. It's bye-bye baby. It's 1-0 Giants. Inning. Here's the Pirates lineup that Tim Lincecum will be facing. It'll be Snyder, Walker, and then the MVP Andrew McCutchen. And Andrew McCutchen's hot right now. Alvarez will be the cleanup hitter. Marte, Davis, and Mercer. The former Giant Chris Stewart will hit 8th, and Garrett Cole will pitch and bat 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the 7-year veteran Tim Lincecum, 29 years of age, 5'11", 170-pounder. 6 starts this year. He's 2-1 with a 5.1 ERA with a strikeout an inning. And when you face Lincecum, you're going to see a low 90s fastball with a curveball, slider, and a split. Lifetime against these Pirates, Lincecum is 2-3. Here at PNC Park, he's never won. 0-2 with a 4.91 ERA. So looking to improve upon that record today, Mr. Lincecum.
So here's Snyder, left-handed hitter, and he takes outside 1-0. Snyder got in as a pinch hitter last night and went 0 for 1. And Lincecum now trying to find a strike. It's 2-0.
Well, the good news is it's down. He's down below the knees. I mean, for him, we always fear that he's up, which is never a good sign.
And it's 3-0. And not going to get the benefit of the doubt when the first 3 weren't close, so Snyder draws the walk.
Take a look at the defense that Bruce Bochy has put on the field today for the Giants. Starting from left to right, it'll be Morse, Blanco, and Pence. Pagan with a day off. Crawford and Arias on the left side of the infield, with Sandoval getting a day off. Hicks and Bell on the right side. And Hector Sanchez will be in the squad, with Buster Posey getting an off day today.
Here's Walker. Walker 1 for 6 on Monday. And he took an 0 for 3 yesterday. And Lincecum's now 5 straight, and Sanchez is going to go out and have a word.
But you got to start throwing other pitches. If you can't get the fastball over, you got to start throwing breaking balls. You got to have something that can get you in the strike zone. Once that happens, everything relaxes. Sometimes the toughest strike to throw is the first one of a game.
And
Jerry Davis will look for strikes. I mean, he's not an umpire that, if a guy's struggling out there, won't give a corner call. He likes to keep the game moving. But you will see more higher strikes with Jerry Davis than you do with other umpires. He likes that belt high. And these are all fastballs. He needs to throw a slider, something else to get him in that strike zone. We have not had to worry about Lincecum in a bout of wildness all year long. Not since the very first time he took the ball in spring training.
3-1. Walker took that. He'll sit on a pitch here. He's got power. Now the Giants will use the overshift with Walker. And that's rolled on the ground foul, so it's 3-2.
Good location pitch there in the 3-1. It went out to an outside corner at the knees. 2-seam movement running away from Neil Walker. That's the pitch you need if you're going to get a ground ball.
See if Snyder goes. He doesn't have a steal this year. McCutcheon to follow. Snyder does go. Swinging a foul on the left field line and out of play. Lincecum looking in, and now Walker gets tired of waiting. Pirates are 13-20. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. Lincecum having a hard time figuring out what to throw here. 3-2. Now he is ready. Snyder goes, and a swing and a drive foul.
Bowser blast
down the right field line as it gets in and out of the Bowser blast area. Pirates are 9-10 at home. The Giants on the road are 11-7.
Giants also do well during the daytime. They're 10-2.
Now Lincecum ready. Runner goes on the ground to Belt. Belt will step on the bag. So Lincecum comes back and he gets Walker after falling behind 3-0, and that'll bring up McCutchen.
The history of Tim Lincecum, and he is vulnerable in the first inning. It normally is the worst inning for him to find his rhythm.
McCutchen had 4 hits on Monday. And that's a foul. Boy, I thought it hit him in the forearm.
Wow, that's a rough strike right there. He hit the knob of the bat, it looked like. I mean, that's when we have to drop the bat and start rubbing your hand like you got hurt.
It's also a good reason why not to put that little finger over the knob.
That's exactly right.
I mean, that's going to hurt.
Strike one.
If you start doing somersaults and run down to first, they're going to give that to
every
you.
time, 100%. And even if they replay it, they're not good. They're going to say it pinched you or something.
Yeah, but he wants to hit. I don't, I think that's great. All those numbers against Lincecum aren't very good. Nevertheless, hit to right field, a base hit. Snyder's going to be waved in. Here's Pence's throw. It's not in time. Lincecum backing up. This game is tied. The walk hurts Lincecum. And was that an 0-2 pitch?
Yeah, it's a breaking ball. Look where it was. Right there above the belt, out over the plate. That's just a flat out hanger. When you're throwing your breaking balls for the first time, especially when you're head 0-2 in the count, you want to say, I want to bounce this. I want to throw it down below the strike zone. For a guy like McCutchen, he's just such a good high ball hitter, a good mistake hitter. He's just not going to miss that. And to his credit, he didn't do too much with it. He didn't try and hit it out.
So here's Alvarez hitting at 210. Shutdown innings been tough this series for both teams.
Yep. Well, Lincecum is not right now. He is vulnerable.
The ball's going to strike to Alvarez. See what he's done in the series. Did hit a 3-run home run in that game on Monday. This is skied out to right field for Pence. Pence puts it away. And that'll bring up Marte. Marte last night had 2 hits. He scored both of the Pirate runs. Well, he should. He's the fastest guy on the field. McCutchen at second with 2 outs. And the first pitch strike at 90, and it's 0-1. Hooked down the left field line. That's a fair ball. McCutchen's going to score. And Marte's got a double. It's 2-1 Pirates.
Step in the outside corner. It goes right across middle end. And Marte sitting on a fastball looking middle end, just drops the head on it, rakes it right to left, collects up a nice little RBI.
So here's Davis.
Lincecum's still struggling to try and get command of that fastball, command of everything right now.
Davis at 208 with a couple of home runs, 10 driven in. Just get Lincecum out of that first inning, and he's an out away from doing that. And a called strike. On deck is Jordy Mercer, and Davis is going to pop this one into the seats. It's 1-2. So a 22 pitch first inning for Tim Lincecum. Foul back.
Lincecum is trying a lot of things to try and get that rhythm before the start of the game. It just has never been easy to acclimate to that mound at the beginning of a ball game. We've seen him a lot. Have 70 pitches in 3 innings, and then all of a sudden, boom, he finishes 6 innings. He cruises once he finds it. A lot of pitches in this first inning. This next one will be number 25.
So the high fastball makes it 2-2. Crawford at short on the one hopper, and that'll end the inning or make that Hicks. 2 runs for the Pirates after 1, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Quote, it comes from the Pirates manager Clint Hurdle on Starling Marte and how he did last night rounding the bases. And Hurdle said it's an aggressive play. We continue to talk about being aggressive. We can't use the safety brakes. Well, not with that guy you can't.
You might use the safety brakes with Ike Davis.
Yeah, I would say that's a good idea with Ike Davis. But Starling Marte, let him go.
Absolutely.
He is a greyhound.
Here's Hector Sanchez, who takes inside. Sanchez hitting .239. 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. 4 for 7 on Monday. And 3 of the hits knocked in runs. Ooh. Just reading by what Hector Sanchez did in the box. As he jumped back out of the way, it was called a strike. It's 1-2.
Got it in. Definitely looking middle away. It's one of those things that you pick up when you're out there 60 feet 6 inches away. You throw a fastball in the inside corner, and all of a sudden that hitter backs off or jumps away. It's called a strike. Guess where he's looking? He wasn't looking in. That's things you need to know with a fastball, especially when you're behind the count.
Sanchez strikes out swinging at 94.
Well, we'll go back to last night. 2 outs, 2 strike count, and Marte gets a 4-seam fastball, but he goes high off the wall. And Hunter Pence hits Adrianza, and Adrianza, with an ill-advised throw, gets away from Sandoval. Sandoval, trying to catch the ball, was kicked in the hand by Marte. Sandoval did make a great play getting the ball and an accurate throw, but Marte safe by inches. They reviewed it, overturned the call. That was the original penalty. The Giants had a loss on their hands.
Here's Crawford. Crawford hitting .265, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in.
Former teammates in college going at each other. Not only did the Giants have a loss on their hands last night, but they lost the services of their third baseman, at least for a day. Pablo Sandoval's thumb on his glove hand, too sore to play today.
And that's a base hit for Crawford. Here with 1 out in the 2nd inning.
Talk about the UCLA Bruins baseball program. Look at the guys who've come out of there. Eric Burns, Chris Chambliss, Garrett Cole, Jeff Conine, Brandon Crawford, Troy Glaus, Dave Roberts, Jackie Robinson, Chase Utley, Todd Zeile. I say that's a legacy.
Radio personalities.
How many?
Murph. 1. Brian Murphy. Murph, by the way, he was a cheerleader at UCLA, wasn't he?
You know, I heard he was.
Here's Hicks. Hicks gets jammed, and he pops this one to Alvarez. 2 outs.
I heard he was good, too.
Yep. He still cheerleads that team. Here's Arias hitting .152. He's got 1 RBI. He's 7 for 46.
Giants need to get Arias going. It's been tough to find a batting average for some of the guys who've been spending a lot of time on the bench. Giants have had a set lineup this year, a lot. Regular Blanco hitting 121. He needs to get it going. Arias hitting a .152. He needs to get it going.
Arias on the ground to Walker, and from the outfield grass, that'll end the inning. No runs to hit, 1 left. It'll be Jordy Mercer to lead things off. 2-1 Pirates.
12th through the 14th, Monday the 12th, and Tuesday the 13th are both 7:15 games. Final game of the series Wednesday, May 14th is day baseball in the city with a 12:45 start. So go to sfgiants.com. There are tickets available.
Here's Mercer. Mercer hitting 167. Breaking ball for a strike. Then Stewart, then Cole. Kind of a different hum about the ballpark. The upper deck, around the upper deck from left field to right field, all kids.
It's middle school day.
Watch Mercer swing at that inside pitch. I think he likes that pitch in the end. He hit a ball off of Gutierrez the other day that how did he hit that?
Well,
It was 94.
I mean, and it was right off his hands. I mean, it's where you want to throw that fastball.
It's 2-2 to Mercer, the Pirates shortstop, and he fouls it back.
Tough loss for the Giants last night. Tough loss for Tim Hudson, who was brilliant. The one good thing that came out of the game, however, was a complete night off for the Giants bullpen.
Yeah, they could have stayed at the hotel. Hit out to shallow right field. Belt and Pence, and it's going to be out of play. Both the Giants and Dodgers will head to Los Angeles after their games today. Dodgers are playing a day game, but they're in a rain delay. And the pitch, and it very nearly hit Mercer, and it's now 3-2.
Well, right now the fastball is not his friend. He cannot rely on it. He's really having a problem locating it, and we've seen him have bouts while this before, but he's always been able to go to the slider.
He's out of play down the left field line. Well, then it would be nice to have a really good slider or a really good split.
You got to have something you can count on to get in the strike zone when you absolutely have to get in there. And right now he has to get in there on the 3-2 pitch.
Got him. Sanchez blocked it and throws it for a strikeout.
Well, time for our AT&T Uverse Rewind. And Tim Hudson last night, 8 2/3 strong, 5 hits allowed, a couple of earned runs, or a couple of runs, 1 earned. 105 pitches of total effectiveness, 5 strikeouts. And he does get credit for a complete game, but I mean, he was miserable after the game. I mean, he was mad because he had got a fastball up to Marte. Obviously mad at the outcome of the instant replay. You know, and the more you hang around this guy, the more you get to really know the makeup of what makes him good. And he's a competitor. He burned fire after that game.
It's 0-2 to the former Giant who used to catch Tim Lincecum. And this is flipped over Hicks for an 0-2 base hit. Only the 6th hit of the year for Stewart. And here's Garrett Cole, who maybe asked to bunt, but he's a pretty good hitter. on the year is 4 for 12. He pinch hit in the game on Monday. He picked up an infield hit. He hit a ball off the glove of Machi and eventually reached.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy called that throw over to see if Garrett Cole showed bunt, and he did not.
And the bunt is foul, and it's 0-1.
Guys that can hit, like Garrett Cole, do not like the bunt sign when there's one out. They just don't.
It's 0-2. Cole not happy with himself for taking that pitch. Giants scored in the first on the Belt home run. The Pirates came back with 2 in the bottom of the first. Rolled foul as he showed bunt and then took a swing. Pitches for Lincecum with 1 out here in the second. Base hit. So Cole with a base hit following Stewart's hit, and that'll bring up Travis Snyder.
And the bottom of the lineup has set the table for the top. Dave Righetti going to come out and talk things over the Lincecum. That's 42 pitches into this outing, and he still hasn't gotten a true command of the fastball. So this may be about rhythm, about slowing things down. You can see the fake bunt. You don't have to have a lot of swing when you're just in a protect mode here, and that's all he's doing is trying to go right back up the middle and gets a breaking ball a little bit up above the knees. It's a nice job. Guys that don't do well in those butcher plays are guys that try and put too much swing on it after they show bunts. Garrett Cole was textbook perfect.
Snyder drew a walk in the first. He eventually scored with Walker to follow. And this is hit down the left field line and out of play. At second is Stewart. At first is Cole. Swing and a miss. And the ball squirts away, and both runners advance.
It's great watching Garrett Cole do a belly slide at second base. I'm not sure if he's ever done that before. Yeah, it kind of looked like watch Garrett Cole in the second base. He kind of looks like a big shrimp when he hits on his belly. Watch the legs come back. Hey.
Lincecum now needs the pitch for the strikeout. And that's not going to happen. That's a base hit down the right field line, and it's going to score 2, and it's 4-1 Pirates.
Breaking ball, and just a hanger right above the knees out over the middle. And Snyder in a protect mode, taking swing out. Gets a pretty easy pitch to defend. Comes up with 2 RBIs.
So Stewart, Cole, Snyder, 3 straight singles. Mix in a wild pitch.
If you're George Contos, you better be stretching out about now in that bullpen, because he's about one more base hit away from getting up and starting to throw.
And there's that base hit you're talking about. Four straight singles here in the second, and it brings up Andrew McCutchen, who knocked in the first run of this game.
Bochy needs Lincecum to go at least 4 innings in this game, and this is an important part of this whole road trip. It's tough to ask your bullpen to eat up 7-8 innings going into a big series in Los Angeles. And Bochy knows it.
McCutchen, first pitch foul behind Nick Leyva, third base coach.
Can't tell you how important it was that the bullpen got a night off last night after having to eat up a lot of work in game 1 of the series when it went 13 innings.
Hicks will backpedal and put it away. And that'll bring up Alvarez. Alvarez popped out to right field in the first inning. Lincecum trying to get his team into the dugout.
We're talking about some signals right here. Anytime you see a middle infielder coming in, usually they change the signs up. And it's not uncommon to see guys change in the middle of an inning. Hector Sanchez sees something that he thinks might be a sign being relayed from the runner at second to the guy in the box. They'll call time immediately and come out and try and fix something. Change the signs.
Alvarez in that cleanup spot, very dangerous. 8 home runs, 22 driven in. Swing gonna miss. No balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he was trying to put it in the Allegheny right there.
Fouls this one over the Pirates dugout. It's 0-2. And a fastball high, 1-2.
And that was by design. They wanted to elevate there. Alvarez, a two-way chaser. He'll chase up out of the strike zone. He'll chase down out of the strike zone.
Out of play. Snyder at second, Walker at first. Stewart and Cole have both scored here in the second. And that'll end the inning. 2 runs, 4 singles. After 2, Giants with some work to do.
Make sure you come out to the Buster Posey t-shirt giveaway. Kruk and Kite will tell you everything you need to know.
That's right. Marlins are in town on the next homestand, and on Sunday the 18th, the first 7,500 kids 14 and under are going to receive that Buster Posey t-shirt, and it's presented by Toyota. So there are good seats available for all 4 games. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Tim Lincecum to lead things off. Cole with 2 strikeouts, no walks. Lincecum on the year does not have a hit. He's 0 for 5. Blanco and then Pence. Outside corner strike. I'm surprised McCutcheon's as deep as he is.
Yeah, he's at about 20 steps too deep.
And Lincecum is gone.
Well, time to log on to csnbayarea.com and decide the player of the game. Your vote counts. Winners will be revealed during Giants postgame live. Follow the action on the diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats and much, much more. Giants in-game live on csnbayarea.com. Log on right now and vote.
Here's Blanco, who struck out to open up the ball game. Blanco shortens up to bunt, and he takes a strike. He's got Alvarez's attention before the bluff. And that's up and in to even the count.
Up and in at 96. I mean, we've seen him go higher than that. We've seen him real close to 100.
There's 96 in, and it's 2-1. Three and 1 to Blanco with Pence to follow. 4-1 Pirates. 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Foul off the glove of Stewart. This was the strategy the Giants used on Monday. Get down by a lot and then come back and win.
Down by 6. Talk about the highest fastball velocity in the major leagues this year with a minimum of 30 innings. And Ventura with Kansas City. And then Garrett Richards, Evaldi, Cole, and Peralta.
Blanco gone again.
Take a look at the improved hitting for Hunter Pence. Before April 21st, first 19 games hit 219. Now he's at a streak of 385. And against fastballs, he's hitting just a $150. Now he's hitting 344. So before 421, he's hitting 181. Since then, 362. And that's why he sees sliders first pitch now. He's hitting the fastball, and the league knows it.
And this is rolled foul. Get in on the hands of Hunter Pence, and now he's behind. 0-2.
Two pretty good pitches. I mean, a nasty slider in the outside corner, a nasty fastball in the inside corner.
And this is out of play. There's a good fastball from Garrett Cole. Giants late to get Belt up here in the third. He's got a home run. He did that in the first. Just off the plate.
Well, Cole had a couple steps towards the Pirates dugout. He thought the inning was over.
And now it's 3-2.
97-mile-an-hour fastball, so reaching back.
I beg your pardon, 2-2. Pence on the ground. Davis knocks it down. Cole covering, and they got him. Starling Marte to lead things off 4-1, the Pirates.
By Provident Credit Union. Make life easy.
Here in Pittsburgh, the Pirates with a 4-1 lead. Day baseball. These guys come up a little short in the hat department.
Too much head, not enough lid.
I wonder if he knows that.
I think he's thinking he's looking pretty good.
Up high to Marte, who doubled in the first inning.
Yep. He's got it going.
Marte fouls it back. Very exciting young player for these Pirates. Fits very well in that outfield with McCutcheon. There's an appeal that really wasn't necessary. Conroy said no swing. Two and two.
Last 7 games he's hitting 400, and you can see where he likes the ball. He likes it middle away. Power numbers are up. The base hits are down. All he hit last night for the triple was away and up.
This one bounces 3 feet in front of home plate.
Nice play, Hector Sanchez.
Very nice play.
Trying to bounce it right on home plate. He throws a scud out there in front. That's when you're running down the first base line as a hitter that's swung at that. You're not real happy with yourself.
Blanco had to return something that came out of the bleachers. Just getting ready for those beach balls. All right. And that'll start tomorrow night.
That's true.
I might, you know what? I never thought of this strategy. Maybe we'll bring a couple. Start flipping them around in the booth.
Yeah.
Davis takes a strike.
First
Now,
pitch split.
it's played pretty straight, considering who the fellow is in the booth next to us.
Yeah, we got Hall of Famers on both sides of us. We got Vince Scully on our right. To our left, we have Jaime Jarrín, John Miller. We have to be in our best behavior.
Absolutely. And we usually are. Davis bounced out to Hicks to end the first inning. And he's going to just stroke this one into right field for a one-out single. And here's Mercer. So here's Mercer, who struck out in the third inning. On the ground to Hicks. Hicks will tag and throw. No. And Bruce Bochy is going to come out and at least stall for time. And I'm wondering, was his foot off the bag? If it wasn't the foot off the bag, I do think the throw beat him. Of course, that's from up here where we're with the Stars.
All right, you run him back, exchange, little shovel. Well, the foot definitely was in contact with the bag.
Bruce Bochy departs. Well, there's a reason why the umpires aren't sitting in my chair from up here.
All right, one more look. That's not going to get overturned. Bang, bang.
Really?
You're right. I shouldn't assume that anymore, ever. Now, how should he have made that play?
Well, once you got the runner really close to the bag at first, get rid of it, throw to first, and then you got the base runner and a rundown. But Hicks had his eye on both runners, and I think he felt like he could make the play. If the throw's not high, he gets him. It's 2-0 to Stewart.
One thing we've seen with Stewart is he'll bunt. And with Garrett Cole, who's a pretty good hitting pitcher on deck, I mean, you may see him try it. Right now he's going to take at least one strike, I would imagine.
And he cannot get his old teammate out. And here's Cole. Cole with a base hit into center field in the second. And the pitch is high. Cole takes a deep breath. And a check swing foul into the Giants dugout.
Lincecum has been in the stretch every inning. It has not been easy. And George Cantos getting the call to start heating her up.
1-2.
Next pitch for Lincecum will be number 70.
And in and out of the glove of Hector Sanchez, so Cole's going to get another shot.
His last at bat, he had a base hit on a breaking ball. It's just above the knees, middle end.
Arias to Belt, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 2 left. It'll be Belt to lead things off. So far, all Pirates. Time now from Togo's big play, the Togo's way. Brandon Belt in the first inning off of Garrett Cole. He sends one high and deep and gone. And for Belt, that's his 8th home run on the road this season and his 4th in the first inning. How about that, huh?
Those are good stats. 9 total, only 1 at AT&T Park. That's right, he's coming out of his funk. And that's the important thing. He went through probably the roughest week of his professional career about 2 weeks ago. Cleveland was playing the Giants at AT&T.
The reason for this inning, half inning, or this in-between innings is taking so long. Garrett Cole made the last out. He went all the way back into the dugout. Took his time. he's got a little Bruin in him, you know. Just ask Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, that's true. He'll attest to that.
Here's Belt. Belt takes in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. Two and 0. On deck is Michael Morris and then Hector Sanchez, followed by Crawford, Hicks, and Arias. Three and 0. It's more like the Brandon Belt that we know.
Yeah.
Take some pitches.
I recognize this guy. And how does confidence come back? It comes back in layers, 1 hit at a time. It's an example there of a 3-0 count where Jerry Davis will look for strikes. And I've always liked that in umpires.
Three and 2. Overshift is on. I mean, massive overshift is on. And Bell hits one into center field, but it's at McCutchen. So Cole comes back after falling behind 3-0. And here's Morris. Morris lined out to the right fielder Snyder in the first inning. And he jumps back out of the way. It's no balls and 1 strike. Sanchez to follow. We're in the 4th. Giants Dodgers tomorrow night. This is hit up the middle, and Morris has a base hit.
They need to string together a few more of those type of bats here to get back in this game mentally.
Well, that's what they did on Monday. Remember, they scored 11 runs without a home run. Had a lot of move the line singles, a walk, mix in a double.
I mean, this is the heart of the lineup right now today. I mean, you've got some of the regulars resting. Pagan, Posey, Sandoval. But this is the part of the lineup where you need to make some noise. Second time through, they've seen Garrett Cole. They know what his fastball is doing. They know the movement.
Sanchez takes a strike.
They know what breaking balls he's getting over. What off-speed pitches he has a command of. So second time through, you go up there with a true plan, a plan that's relevant to what you saw in your first at bat.
0-1 to Sanchez. Sanchez with a mighty rip, and he comes up empty. It's 96 under his hands.
You look at the release, and because of where Garrett Cole is on the mound and slight crossover step that he has, when he throws the ball on the outside corner, to righties and the inside corner to lefties. It looks like it's got cut to it, when in fact it's pretty straight. But from where his release point is, it gives the illusion that it's got cut. And at that velocity, he's putting 94 to 97 miles per hour on it. I mean, that's a tough pitch to barrel. If you're hitting it from the left side, I mean, he can definitely run that ball up your bat.
And it's down low. So Sanchez getting some pitches out of Garrett Cole. It's 2-2 with Morris at first and 1 out here in the 4th. Out of play.
That was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Crawford's on deck. Three and 2.
I mean, if you look at what he's been throwing, Cole's been pretty much 4-seam fastballs in that breaking ball. And throw any changeups. If he has, we don't remember it.
And Sanchez fouls the 3-2 fastball straight back and out of play. That was at 97.
This is a good at bat he's got going. It's great. Ball went up in the stands. The guy reached out with one hand, caught it for a second, bobbled it, dropped down the row before it. Woman went over, picked it up, and she tried to hand it back to the guy. And she's got orange and black on. Total gamer, babe. And he said, "Nope, it's yours. You can have it."
Out of play again.
It's been one of the best at bats that the Giants hitters had against Cole.
If I'm looking at the same woman you are, is she keeping score?
Yep, she is. She's got orange pants on, black top. She's psyched about this at bat. Number 10 on the pitch count coming towards Sanchez right now.
And he ropes it down the right field line, and that's a fair ball. Sanchez will have a double. Into third goes Morse, and a nice at bat from Hector Sanchez.
Yeah, that's a big league at bat right there. You get 10 pitches out of a guy, you wind up getting a double. You have absolutely dominated that battle. And it wasn't a straight fastball either. He went at him with a breaking ball. It was a get it in breaking ball, and Hector Sanchez in a protect mode. She just yanked it in right field, and that's going to bring out Ray Searage, the pitching coach for the Pirates. Pitch count's at 60, and this has become a very stressful inning for his big right-hander. He's going to give him a breather. All right, time now for our McDonald's True Stories. In San Francisco Giants history, Giants record when they allowed 10 or more runs. Well, from 1958 to 2013, they were 21 and 502 with a win percentage of 4%. This year, they're 2-0. So go figure.
I don't think it's a really good idea, though.
No, I don't.
To give up 10.
21 and 502.
So here's Crawford, who singled in the second inning.
It's unbelievable. They had 502 games. They've given up 10 or more runs.
Crawford fouls it back.
And that's just the ones they've lost.
Well, the Giants in this park, and I thought the numbers would be a little bit greater than this. The Giants are 20 and 21 here.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
I think there was a stretch where they did, when they first opened, they won a lot of games. Crawford pops it up. That's not going to do it. As Alvarez puts it away. It's always an aggravating at bat for a young hitter. By the way, the Giants all time against the Pirates. Ready for this?
Yeah.
They're 1,128 wins, 985 losses.
Wow.
You were part of that history.
So are you.
Yeah. Not sure which. It's line drive. McCutchen coming in. Still coming in, and that'll end the inning. Giants waste an opportunity. Bottom of the fourth coming up.
Authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
All right, it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag CSNBA fan photo, name, and hometown for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. And this one comes from Alyssa from Hillmar, California. She's had her first game at AT&T Park. Age 7. Very cool.
Looks happy. Top of the order for the Pirates. Snyder, Walker, McCutchen. Walker is 1 for 1, a walk, and he knocked in a pair of runs in the second, and the first pitch is high, 1-0. Two and 0. Ryan Vogelsong against Josh Beckett tomorrow night. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Is low, 3-0. Pregame live will start at 6:30. Then we'll have the game for you right at the top of the hour. The 3-0 pitch is a strike, 3-1.
Just a get it in strike throw to speed you can control. Took a little off.
Foul back. The Pirates will have a day off tomorrow. Then they host the Cardinals in a weekend series. Got him.
Nice comeback, down 3-0 in the count. Strikeout number 4. All of his strikeouts by swing and miss strike threes. It's not an easy way to pitch. Get down in the count 3-0, then come back. Morning, good afternoon, and grab some pine meat.
Walker is 1 for 2. And tight with McCutchen on deck. Walker dribbles it foul.
He's got a better rhythm right now than he did in the first couple innings. Pitch will be number 80.
You look at the National League Central, the Brewers right now are the class of the Central, 22 and 12. After that, everybody's kind of bunched up. Pirates were hoping to get off to a better start. Had some injury issues. Hit out into left center field for Blanco. And Blanco will put it away. Cardinals are 17 and 17, and the Reds are 15 and 17. Kind of interesting. All teams in the National League Central in their last 10 games, they've all gone 4 and 6. Brewers are just playing really good baseball, and they're continuing to play without Ryan Braun. He's on the DL.
Well, that's when you know you're on a good roll. When you can lose your catalyst on the disabled list and you continue to keep winning.
By the way, the Brewers and Diamondbacks are playing right now. And that game is in the 3rd inning, and Diamondbacks are leading 2-1 on a Goldschmidt home run. McCutchen, a big swing and a miss, 1 and 2. And let's hit on the ground into right field past Belt. So both hits that McCutchen has gotten in this game have come after he fell behind in the count.
Yeah, he's got that stroke to right field going.
Here's Alvarez, who popped out in the first and then struck out swinging in the second. McCutchen will run. He's got 4 steals. He hasn't been thrown out. See if Lincecum gives Sanchez a shot. McCutchen does not go.
George Contreras won't take him long. He's already got up once.
Runner goes, foul back. So McCutchen was indeed on the move.
Alvarez was politely waiting for McCutchen to walk all the way back from second base. Is that a grimace?
It sure is. Yeah, base stealers, you can't trust them. They're a bunch of thieves. Get up, limp around, grab their leg, grimace, and then steal a base standing up because you don't do your job and pay attention to them. They're thieves, I tell you. Can't trust them.
Hit up the middle, but Crawford's there, and that'll end the inning. Fifth inning coming up. 4-1 Giants.
Is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the solar company. Switch to solar and save.
Here in Pittsburgh, it's 4-1 Pirates. It's very close to the ballpark. It is beautiful. Mike and I used to rollerblade in that area.
Yeah, that's right, where the old Fort Pittsburgh is.
Here's Arias. We told Dave Fleming that the other day, that we used to rollerblade on the road. He was like, no, you guys did not.
You guys did?
Yeah, we did. Hit on the ground to short, where Mercer has it. And Mercer will lob to first. Arias is gone.
Only for about 12 years. But when we started describing all of our old routes, Montreal and New York and Milwaukee and Chicago, then and only then did you start believing us.
We had a good time. Here's Sandoval. So Sandoval is going to pinch hit. So Sandoval will hit. That means we'll see George Cantos. Sandoval on the ground, and that's all he needed, was to be a pinch hitter. And he's aboard here with one out. And that'll bring to the plate Blanco.
That's a good thing. I didn't know if he was going to be able to swing the bat because of that injury to his hand last night. He was kicked in the glove hand by Starling Marte at that play at third base. And he left the ballpark last night with an ice bag on his head. Sore today, so they gave him a day off. Base hits make him feel better.
Here's Blanco, who struck out twice. However, in this at bat, he's facing Cole out of the stretch. And he lines this one, but it's right at Snyder. Look, when you're 4 for 36, you're not going to get hits like that.
Hit the ball hard, the guy's standing right there. It's a cruel game.
Yeah, it's especially cruel to bench guys.
Yeah, because your opportunities are so few and far between. But, I mean, it happens to everybody. There's not one guy who's ever been in the big leagues that hasn't gone through it. Not one.
He's a marvel at Pete Rose. And look at all the doinks and infield hits he'd get. And then you think about all the line drives that he hit that were caught. Pence takes a pitch in tight.
This is the injury to Sandoval last night. Marte throws it in there and he gets, watch the glove hand get kicked. And he jammed his thumb. Maybe it was the ground that jammed his thumb and not the kick.
Kind of was the perfect storm for all of that to happen.
Yeah, I think it happened for a reason. Let's see exactly where the contact was made. And it was the ball that hit the side of his glove. So it was not the foot of Marte. And that's a generous strike at a 3-1 count.
And the walk, and Belt will hit here in the 5th. So the Giants quietly putting some together here in the 5th inning.
I mean, they're just one hit away in a situation like this to being right back in this thing. Not that being down 3 runs is out of a ball game by any way, shape, or form, but they do need a little energy right about now. So a base hit would be nice. Or a walk. Air.
Or one in the water.
Or one in the water.
And Belt lines this one down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Sandoval's going to score. Pence is being waved in. Is this a risk? It is not. And to third is Belt, and he's out at third. Giants scored twice on the double by Belt, and they are back in it. It's 4-3 Pirates.
O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Giants are back in it. It's 4-3 as we head to the home half of the fifth. Giants have a new pitcher. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Who we got, Mike?
Welcome back to the big leagues, George Cantos. And this is what he did in 11 games in Fresno. 0-2 and 4.91 ERA. He got off to a horrible start, made some corrections. And look at the strikeouts, 28 against 2 walks in 18 and a third innings. You can see he got his slider back. He's got a straight down snap on it again. His fastball is low 90s. So Cantos, who was a big part of the Giants' 2012 campaign when they were world champs.
Keep it close today, kid.
Back in the big leagues here. And he is pumped up. Good opportunity for him.
Three runs on 6 hits for the Giants, 4 runs on 8 hits for the Pirates. That was Lincecum's line. He gave up 4 earned runs, 8 hits, 4 innings, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Marte, Davis, Mercer here in the 5th, and the Giants trying to come up with a shutdown inning. And a first pitch ball that's high, 1 ball and no strikes. And a strike, and that'll even the count.
93-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a good pop.
Foul back.
So 93 outside corner, 93 inside corner, and he still hasn't thrown him his strikeout pitch, and that's the slider. He has saved it for a 2-strike surprise.
Well, let's see if we see it here. Hit to right. Pence over. And Pence will make the catch.
And there it was.
And that'll bring up Ike Davis.
There's the baby.
Mom going, okay, Hunter's getting a little too close here.
Yep, you got to protect that package, Mom. She did.
So here's Davis, who takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes.
It's a 91-mile-an-hour 2-seam fastball.
Hmm. 2-0. Davis is a pull hitter, and he strokes this one up the middle. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Tell you what, he's got a higher back shoulder now. He's flattened out his swing. He's not the lift and separate guy we saw with the Mets. So he has made some adjustments in his swing.
Mercer is 0 for 2. And a strike.
Take a look at Ike Davis's swing. That's much flatter swing. I mean, he really had a blaring uppercut, which really caused the the inability of Davis to hit for an average. I mean, he was right around 200, under 200.
He goes. It's a hit and run, a swing and a miss, and from his knees, Sanchez is going to throw him out. And that's on Mercer for not making contact.
I think Hector Sanchez throws better from his knees than standing up.
I do too.
What do you say we make it our Ford right choice? I mean, it's a pretty macho way to do it. It's not something you teach little leaguers. But if you watch Sanchez, he's got a much more accurate, much more quicker release from that low position, just from the knees. I mean, that's quick.
Plus, you're throwing out Ike Davis. You're not throwing out Marte.
Now you had to bring that up.
No, I'm saying he may not do that if Marte's running. And he doesn't get Marte if he throws it like that.
Well, I mean, okay, Ike Davis is like 4.7 seconds. He's about a second and a half faster or slower.
It's a second and a half. That's not much.
Hey, it's our Ford right choice.
But if you're Mercer, you got to make contact. Contos gets his first strikeout back in the big league.
It's a good inning.
Sixth inning coming up. Yes, it was.
May 15th is Japanese Heritage Night. Your special event package will include a ticket to see the Giants take on the Miami Marlins and access to the Japanese Heritage Night pregame party and a 50th anniversary bust of Masanori Murakami, commemorating his breakthrough as the very first Japanese-born player in the major leagues. Murakami will be there tonight. He will be honored at the ballpark, and he will be throwing out ceremonial first pitch, and it'll be nasty. He can still pitch. Call 415-972-2298. May 15th. 4-3 Pirates. We're in the top of the sixth inning. And Michael Morse is going to lead things off here for Bruce Bochy's Giants against Garrett Cole. The first pitch challenge strike. Morse on the day has hit the ball well. He lined out to right in the first, and then he had a base hit in the fourth. Hitting it cool, 299. One more hit away from the magic 300 line. Look out. 101.
Hey, sorry I'm late. The men's room here is over at Heinz Field.
You're going to have to ignore money when you have to go to the bathroom here.
Smokes, I just took a stress test. This is hit into center field. McCutchen tells everybody that he's got room. Yeah, make sure you put the bathroom close to the writers, where they get all the time in the world in between innings. Make sure you make the broadcasters go to Heinz Field.
Well, it's that program they have that keeps the broadcasters in shape.
Here's Hector Sanchez. 0-1 to Sanchez.
So you just need to do what I do.
Well, yeah, hold it.
Pee in a cup.
You're joking, but we're not that far away from that. Trust me.
Yeah, just kidding, folks. But we do have a problem with the architect.
That's foul.
Nice pick, ball babe. Oh yeah, not the first time she's made a play like that. All right, let's watch it. And this has got some steam on it too. Whoa!
Oh yeah, it's been a big blow. Sanchez out looking. That's 5 strikeouts for Garrett Cole. And here's Crawford. Crawford singled up the middle in the second, and then with an opportunity to knock in a run. Runners at second and third with only 1 out. He popped out to Pedro Alvarez at third. This is another ballpark where you can see that center field camera directly right over the pitcher.
I like it.
This is skied out to Marte. And Garrett Cole comes back in the 6th with a 1-2-3 inning. And Chris Stewart's going to lead things off.
Is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, offering business and personal insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
You look into downtown Pittsburgh, it's a 4-3 lead for the Pirates. Coming here for a long time, and every year we come here it seems to get a little better.
Oh, no question. From when we first saw this place in 1977 to now, night and day. And they have a lot of beautiful architecture in this city. Good walk in town.
Indeed. That is a fact. So Stewart will bat first against Cantos. Stewart is singled and he's walked. Both of those at bats were against Tim Lincecum. Here it's against George Cantos. And that's hit on the ground, and Stewart's been on base 3 straight times. So that'll put Cole in the same spot as he was in the third. Actually, and in the second, he tried to bunt. At one point, he pulled the bat back and stroked one into center field. Santos tried to see if Cole was going to give up what he was going to do, but I don't think you can trust anything. Cole may show a bunt. He pulled that bat back. Here he bunts it. Maybe got a piece of it into the glove of Sanchez.
Well, with nobody out, leadoff hitter on, this deep into a ball game, I don't know if Clint Hurdle even wants Cole on the bases, which I think they are going to stick with the bunt plan.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of many you've had, by the way, today.
I kind of thought that was the first one.
No, you get a good night's sleep, I can tell. Do you think maybe he would want Cole maybe to bunt foul again here so he doesn't have to run to first? No?
Save that for August when it's 96 out here and humid.
Well, the other good news, Mike, about having Cantos in the game, the Giants bullpen, they've got 10 wins. That's the most in the major leagues.
Gee, Machis, he's tied with the league lead. He's got 5. Might get another one today. This is definitely going to be a bullpen game.
On the ground, Crawford shovels it to Hicks. Hicks to Belt, got him. So that particular time, it backfired.
Chris Stewart put some serious heat on Brandon Hicks coming across that bag. And Stewart's a big fella. And he can run a little bit. I mean, you talk about moving a second baseman's feet. And Garrett Cole was not lollygagging down that line either. He was going hard. Looked like Stewart may have surprised Brandon Hicks with his speed.
I don't know much, Mike, if it was much as a surprise or it really wasn't a slide. It was like jumping at your feet. There's a strike to Snyder.
Good quick slider there.
See how Stewart comes in and he kind of jumps. He's trying to pick which foot to jump at.
Nice dig out of the dirt by Brandon Belt.
Snyder knocked in a pair of runs in the second with a base hit. Those runs are the difference in the game right now. How's this one out of play? 2 and 2s.
And the 2-2 to Snyder, and Snyder fouls it out of play. Snyder steps out. Lincecum started, went 4 innings, allowed 4 earned runs on 8 hits. He was really wild from the beginning. This is a shot into the gap, and this is going to be more than a single for Snyder, maybe more than a double for Snyder, and it's going to be a triple for Snyder. Snyder, who came in hitting .211, has been on base 3 times.
Well, it goes down and gets a slider and just rakes it through the gap. And they say the gaps here are very fast. And this got to the wall quickly. And with Snyder's speed, an easy take of third. Belly slide for style points. Take a look at the real relay.
So now Contos has to pitch to Walker with Snyder at third base, 2 outs. And Walker takes a strike. Good location. .43 Pirates here in the 6th. Hicks standing and waiting, and that'll end the inning. So Contos pitches out of it, even though the Pirates picked up 2 hits in the 6th. 7th inning coming up. Hicks is going to lead things off. And it's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Lincecum went 4. Garrett Cole still in the game. He's got 82 pitches. Brandon Belt is homered in this game. And Snyder's had a couple of hits. Belt has 3 RBIs, a home run, and a double to knock in a pair. He's got all the runs batted in for the Giants. And here it's going to be the bottom of the lineup. Remember, Bruce Bochy's got a pretty strong bench. He's already used
Sandoval, who came up with a pinch hit single. Hicks has popped out and he's lined out to center field. Juan Gutierrez is in the bullpen. They were getting talking to Cantos. Hicks takes inside. Cole still throwing hard. That's at 97.
Yeah, this breaking ball has been absolutely filthy. Here you see Juan Gutierrez get greased.
One and two.
Yeah, that's a 90-mile-an-hour breaking ball with some hard snap on it. He's got a quality arm, and he really hasn't thrown the other pitches. He's got four. He's got a curveball and a changeup, but we haven't seen it. It's been pretty much fastball and slider. Go get him. He has changed the grip on the fastball, but for the most part, they've been four-seam fastballs. That was at 98, so that's a healthy fastball. A little crossfire action coming away from you.
And the 2-2 pitch, and Hicks fouls it back.
He was on it too. They went on the inside corner and he was on it.
And another 2-2 pitch, and he got him.
Well, if you're looking for that unique Mother's Day present, surprise her with Giants tickets to 2 upcoming games by purchasing the Mother's Day gift pack. 2 games starting as low as $29. The Mother's Day gift pack will include a ticket to the May 13th game against the Braves and to the Memorial Day game on May 26th versus the Chicago Cubs, which, by the way, is Beach Towel Day presented by Bank of America. So go to sfgiants.com/minipacks and get the Mother's Day gift pack.
Here's Arias with Juan Perez on deck, and he takes a pitch down low. Arias has bounced out twice, once to second, once to short. And he takes in tight 2-0. The Giants need a base runner. And Arias taking all the way, and it's 2-1. Just missed. 3-1.
Just a little too low for Jerry Davis.
Payoff pitch. Hit foul down the right field line and out of play.
It's nice when you can reach back into some velocity and pull out 98.
Yeah, when your pitch count is in the 90s.
Well, I think the 100 pitch count to shut a guy like Garrett Cole down after 100 pitches is insulting. I mean, he's got a body built for 135, 140 easy.
And this is stroked up the middle for a base hit. Perez is being pulled back. It's going to be Pagan. And you're right, Mike. Look, there's literally nobody even sweating in the Pirates bullpen. Until now, someone picks up the phone.
Perfect timing, Mark. Perfect timing. Ray Sears is going to come out and kill some time.
Let's see if Ray covers his mouth when he talks to Cole.
Are you going to make a bet?
Well, he didn't do it the last time. Let's see if later innings. He's getting close there.
Yeah.
Okay, go get him. He may not have said anything.
Yeah, I'm just out here because Skipper said to kill some time so we can give the bullpen a little chance to get loose. Go get him. I'm rooting for you. Woohoo! See you later. And they're going to get up Justin Wilson, one of 2 left-handers they have down that bullpen.
So here's Angel Pagan, 3 for 7 on Monday, 0 for 4 last night. And Pagan takes high and wide, 1-0. Gregor Blanco's on deck. Giants trail by 1. We're in the 7th. Pagan pulls it foul.
Now, if you're watching this game from the side, as Pagan has done, you know that you got to get in that batter's box and notch it up a bit. You're hearing the pop of the glove. You're seeing the radar. You know the guy's throwing 96, 98. And you got to cheat to get it going. Be ready.
Arias chase back. So Cole inching towards the 100 mark in pitches. Looking in to Stewart. And another toss to first. Blanco out of the box briefly. And now, because Cole had waited so long, Pagan stepped out.
Well, a pitcher can't blame anybody but himself when he freezes a runner as long as Cole did. I mean, it is upsetting to a pitcher to start and stop like that. But one thing Cole has done today, when you get a runner on, he does slow it down.
It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Angel Pagan. Cole now ready. And Pagan pops it up. And Marte puts it away. And here's Blanco.
Set up on the inside corner, and he's been pounding that side of the plate pretty much most of the day against lefties.
So here's Blanco.
Nothing said by Cole about the late timeout called by Pagan. Now, if Carlos Gomez did that, it'd be a little different.
Oh, yeah. Arias with his lead. And Blanco takes a strike. Blanco did smoke one to right field in the 5th inning. And it was hit right at Snyder, the right fielder.
Setting up in again.
Now Arias goes, and it's foul back. Arias had a pretty good jump.
And I think Gregor Blanco backed off the plate. I think he was looking in. Why wouldn't you? Against lefties, I mean, Cole's been pounding that cutter in there all day long. Now, again, it's not a cutter. It's a fastball, but from where he is on the rubber And the little crossfire that he has with this delivery, in the eyes of the hitter, it looks like it's cutting in on him. So Blanco backed off, opened up, looked for it.
Arias again with his lead. And Blanco out swinging for the third time. Bottom of the 7th inning. Pirates still lead 4-3. And you can see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Pregame live will start at 6:30. We'll have the game for you at the top of the hour. There'll be 4 games. The Friday night game will be on NBC Bay Area and back on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area on Saturday and Sunday. Braves are in town. Then the Marlins. Lots of Giants baseball. No days off for a while for the Giants. It's 4-3. Pirates. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
On the hill now for the Giants will be the big right-hander Juan Gutierrez. 14 times he's come in, and he's been good. 15 base runners in 15 innings. That's good. 15 strikeouts against 3 walks. That's good. See a mid-90s fastball and even sometimes a high 90s fastball with a curveball, slider, changeup. George Cantos did his job. He put up a couple zeros. Giants are getting closer. Now it's up to Gutierrez to do the same. Keep the score there.
And it'll be McCutchen, Alvarez, and Marte. 3 tough hitters for Gutierrez coming out of the pen. Gutierrez pitched an inning and 2/3 on Monday. And the first pitch is an off-speed pitch, and it's down low. And a strike. The outfield is at least the center fielder, Blanco, playing McCutchen towards the gap in right center field. The gap in the outfield that's open for McCutchen is left center field.
Look out.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Watch the movement of the fastball coming in. It had some heat seek to it. Like a two-seam fastball. He's trying to jam him with, and it just kind of got up and in a little higher than he expected. No time to be hitting people. A one-run ball game leading off an inning. That was an accident.
And it's low, so it's 3-1.
And that's one you smell.
Three and one. McCutchen with good speed, so you don't want to walk him.
Not a good thing to walk a base stealer.
Hit out into center field for Blanco. 1 out.
Well, he got into a situation where he had to challenge him. It's nice to be able to challenge a guy and have 95 when you have to go in there, but you don't want to make a habit of challenging guys like McCutchen with fastballs at 3-1 counts.
Nope. Here's Alvarez, who's 0 for 3. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Marte to follow. Bottom of the 7th. And that sails outside. Off the line at third is Arias, and this is a check swing. Yes. Dodgers and Nationals are underway. And a strike at the knees, 2-2.
Good breaking ball there. He's got two different types. He's got the curveball and the slider. But I still think he thinks off the fastball. And why not? For 95 plus. It's not a bad thought to have.
This is hit on the ground to Belt. Belt far to his right, throws to Gutierrez, 2 outs.
Nice play.
That was a nice play. And here's Marte.
To watch Belt coming far to his right. I mean, he doesn't get it. It ain't going to get caught. Here's the tough part of the play, is being able to lead a pitcher with your momentum kind of going away from the line. And this is one thing that Belt does extremely well. Very accurate thrower. Nice play.
Here's Marte. Marte, a big rip, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Giants in the 8th inning will have Pence, Belt, and Morris. Right now trailing by a run, and that's in tight, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Gutierrez throws that heat seeker that goes right in around and wraps around the ribs of right-handed hitters, and he just kind of follows the pitch. He walks right up the mound towards home plate. He does not care if he hits a guy.
Hit up the middle. Crawford behind the bag, and he'll throw out to Speedy Marte, and a nice inning for Gutierrez. Giants looking to do something in the 8th, and Pence will lead things off. Central tonight at 6, right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. See the Warriors story that will continue. The preview of the Dodgers series, which will start tomorrow, and then the NBA playoffs. Also want to check out any of the current Warrior news. Go to csnbayarea.com. Check out Monty Poole. He is the Warriors insider, and he's got the stuff. 4-3 Pirates. Cole back out to pitch the 8th. He'll face Pence, Belt, and Morse, and maybe just to Pence. Who knows?
It's a challenge right here from Clint Hurdle to his young right-hander.
This is skied to left on one pitch. 1 out.
You're 100 pitches into your outing. You're going into the 8th inning and face the heart of the lineup. There are not a lot of managers who would do this for a young starting pitcher. Get an idea of what Hurdle thinks of this guy.
Here's Belt. Belt's knocked in all the runs for the Giants today. A homer, a double. And he'll take the first pitch in tight.
Still throwing 97, 102 pitches into his outing. So it's not like he's losing stuff.
Trying to get it in there to Belt, and he missed twice.
A couple of throwers down in the Pirates bullpen. You've got Morris, the right-hander, Wilson, the left-hander.
2 outs as Belt grounds out. And here's Morris.
We saw Brian Morris in game 1. We saw Tony Wilson. Justin Wilson rather in game 1. It's amazing how you get to know a team after 3 games.
You get a pretty good idea by game 3. By game 4, you think you're an expert.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, that's how we'll be feeling on Sunday in Los Angeles. Low and away to Michael Morris. 1 for 3. Brewers with 2 outs and nobody on, trying to tie this game up with 1 swing.
There you see the line for Cole. It's solid. 8 base runners and 7 2/3, 3 earned, 7 punch outs against 1 walk.
This is hit up the middle and Cole grabs it, and that'll end the inning. That was ticketed to center field, but Cole prevented it. 4-3 Pirates.
Honda player of the game, and the one guy that really could figure out Garrett Cole today was Giants first baseman Brandon Belt. First at bat, first pitch of the day, he does this, hits home run number 9. That gave the Giants a brief 1-0 lead, and then later on comes up with a double that knocks in 2, makes it a 4-3 ball game. So for that, and the fact that he has played a very clean first base, he is our Honda player of the game. Talk about that great defense. This is one where he had to lead Gutierrez. Effortless, flawless.
Here's Ike Davis. Waiting for the music to stop. Davis, 2 hits, 2 singles. He was walked against Gutierrez on Monday night. And he fouls it out of play. It's 0-1.
That is an abbreviated swing compared to what we saw last year when the Giants saw Ike Davis with the Mets. He is really taking some swing out, trying to make some adjustments. He had a huge hitch, big high leg kick, big hand hitch. And he has taken all that out. I mean, he would lift his front foot above his left knee, and that was where the front foot would go. And then the hands would drop down well below his belt. As you see, Mark Melanson, the closer for the Pirates, starting to get heated up.
A bit low to Davis. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Before Clint Hurdle was a manager, he was an outstanding hitting instructor. And one thing he always has taught is quiet lower body. And Ike Davis was anything but quiet lower body. A lot of moving parts.
In a lot of ways, I think it drove the Mets crazy because of the power that he has.
I mean, that was the lure, because you can see this guy's a 30 home run year guy. Easy. His batting practice is sensational. It's fun to watch, but couldn't take it into the game. Not with all those moving parts. It had to be perfect to get time to a pitch.
And this is a base hit and the third straight single for Davis.
Well, fans, follow every Giants game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio free, MLB TV, game of the day, and much, much more. Download on the App Store or go to sfgiants.com right now.
So nobody out. Davis at first. Mercer is the hitter. He's 0 for 3. Lincecum struck him out in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the third. And there's the bunt, and it's a good bunt. Belt, 2 hits. Davis down to second. And the hitter will be Chris Stewart. Harrison is going to run for Davis. Stewart's got 2 hits and a walk. We saw Affeld getting loose. And Gutierrez will chase Harrison back.
Gutierrez very deliberate.
And a strike. And it's 0-1.
Gutierrez by far the slowest in the Giants bullpen. Gene Machi right behind him. The starting staff, probably Ryan Vogelsong is the most deliberate. But Gutierrez is beyond deliberate. He's slow.
Little looper foul down the right field line, so it's 0-2.
We have a winner. Foul ball sweepstakes. You do not see a lot of gloves at this ballpark. Fans do not bring them. Of course, we do get a little spoiled back at AT&T, where it seems like just about everybody has a glove.
Yes. And it is almost everybody. It's going to be Belt who makes a basket catch.
And you are encouraged as a corner infielder, if you have enough pop-up to get underneath it, to take it from the catcher. For Hector Sanchez, he takes out that mask. He's got to look right up into the sun. Long run for spell. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of time, but I'm sure Sanchez appreciated somebody calling him off. He never looked too comfortable under it.
I mean, the other thing you can do is, if you feel real strongly about it, pitcher can just clear everybody out and take it himself.
Yeah.
Although that's not exactly what they're taught to do, but sometimes infielders are going to get there a little late.
That probably would have been easier for Gutierrez than anybody.
So Gabby Sanchez is the hitter. And this is hit into center field for Blanco. And the Giants are going to go to the ninth, trailing by a run. And it'll be Sanchez, Crawford, and Hicks. Remember, Buster Posey's on the bench. It's 4-3 Pirates. KNBR tomorrow morning. I'll talk about the game with the fellas on KNBR 680, the sports leader. It's a 4-3 lead for the Pirates. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Mark Melanson, the closer for the Pirates, coming in here. Just assumed that role. Jason Griller's still off the disabled list. 16th time he's come into a game, he's 1 for 2. He had a blown save in game 1 of this series against the Giants. Numbers are good, though. 10 strikeouts against 1 walk. And when you take your at-bats against him, you're going to see a low 90s fastball. A lot of cutters. Cutter. And it's a hard cutter. I mean, it's a 90s cutter.
And it'll be Sanchez to lead things off, followed by Crawford and Hicks. Melanson, just a note here, he has the longest current streak of innings pitched without allowing a home run. And that's 78 innings.
Well, that makes him do, doesn't it?
It makes him do. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Hector Sanchez is 1 for 3, doubled in the 4th. And that's a bit outside. Maybe not by much. A ball and a strike. Same spot as the first pitch, 1-2.
That's a good cutter. I mean, that's a 91-mile-an-hour cut. Gives you an idea. It used to be general consensus the hardest pitch to hit out was a sinker, but Mariano Rivera kind of changed all that, and a lot of guys are throwing that cutter. And Milance benefiting from it.
And this is line foul, so that time Sanchez dug it out. It remains 1-2. Another one-run game for the Giants. They had one on Monday, and they had one last night. The 1-2 to Hector Sanchez, and he almost got him on the front knee. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So we'd hear it from Frank Robinson about taking one for the team.
Well, it's easy for him to say. Of course, he did as a player.
He did.
So it was easy for him to say.
So 2-2 to Sanchez. And he skies this one to shallow right field. One out here in the ninth. And that'll bring up Brandon Crawford. Crawford today singled in the second. He's popped out and flied out.
Cutter. Cutter really is a lot of downward bite. It's a flat breaking ball for the most part, but it just gets it on your hands if you're hitting from the left side.
A good fastball. It's a ball and a strike. Yeah. In a lot of ways, just not quite as effective to right-handed hitters.
Well, it doesn't jam you if you're right-handed, but it does get on the end of the bat.
Crawford into left center field. McCutchen coming in, and McCutchen's going to make the catch with a headlong dive 2 down. For whatever reason, McCutchen plays a little deeper than most center fielders, but he can catch a lot of things in front of him because of his speed.
He didn't get a whole lot of it, but you see how deep he was, and he initially broke back of the ball. He expected more fly ball than what he got, but he's got make-up speed, and he really knocked the air out of him. That ground hard, a little slow getting up. He's still taking inventory out there in center.
Here's Hicks. Hicks is 0 for 3, and he represents the last hope for the Giants. Buster Posey now is in the on-deck circle, and Hicks takes low and away, 1-0.
One more look how he hits. Semi-face plant.
Hicks, center field. This should do it. And that's the ball game. So game 3 of this series, it goes to the Pirates. As the bullpen held the Pirates down, but Garrett Cole held the Giants down this afternoon. 4-3 is your final.
Yeah, Garrett Cole, I mean, a young pitcher, but you see him really establishing himself every time he goes out there. He had nasty stuff, and the Giants could not figure him out. 8 strong innings, so the Giants have to settle for 1 win, and it's on to L.A.
Final score here at PNC Park, it's the Pirates 4 and the Giants 3. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live is going to start right now.